It's 5:45 p.m., which means it's time for BC TV's Nightly News Roundup. I'm tonight's host, Roland Boyden, alongside my co-host, Joe Bushy.
Roland, how are you?
This show's 5:45 Live. Joe, what have we got going on tonight?
Well, Roland, tonight we've got Vermont mourns a moose. Brattleboro jumps on the Occupy bandwagon. We've got some big bridge news, and plus we'll throw some cute animals in there just for kicks and giggles. So
Love the cute animals. Alrighty.
Every time.
Pete was, his attention was called to me when he was maybe a day or two old, and then a couple of people were walking their dogs on a mountainside, and they came upon Pete. Come to find out the dogs had bit him through both stakes, and he laid there on the ground for 4 days. They called the Fish and Wildlife Department, and they said, do not feed him, do not take him home.
Welcome back to 5:45 Live. I'm gonna just get right into the headlines here, but first, that's a clip of the Pete the Moose, the controversial mammal who passed away late last week during a routine tranquilization for a dehoofing procedure. Pete reached celebrity status after his domesticated residence on the Big Rack Ridge Nature Reserve, and that prompted legislation that would have led to his death, save for a last-minute gubernatorial pardon from Shumlin. We've got a clip of that as well, courtesy of Ann Galloway at Vermont Digger. Let's take a look.
Pete the Governor wants to protect the life of Pete the Moose. And I haven't, Pete the Governor hasn't issued any pardons yet, but I'm going to issue one for Pete the Moose. Pete the Moose must live.
Moving on, the Occupy Wall Street movement sweeping the nation has finally rolled into Brattleboro. We joined the likes of Boston, Seattle, and thousands of other cities and towns across the nation this weekend that were going their own way to the flavor of New York protest. And I would say, from attending it personally, I think the local protest this weekend probably had at least 200 or 300 protesters there, if not more.
Pretty impressive, and it's going to be in addition, going to be a weekly.
That's what I hear. Yep,
yeah,
every week.
So is the
same
rumor.
Time, same place.
We got 4 different producers who are out there getting a bevy of footage, including you, Joe. We have just got a small sample of it tonight due to time concerns, but we'll have plenty of it up on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page later, and coming shows I'm sure will be jam-packed with this footage as well. We've got, in particular, a clip series of interviews done by 545 Live news correspondent Catherine Turnus. Let's take a look.
We're in the process of trying to gather people for a movement that continues the healthcare battle that we faced. We have a healthcare law based on human rights principles, and we need to uphold those principles, and that means having these people right here be part of the process of deciding how it's financed and what the standard package looks like.
As we mentioned, plenty more Wall Street footage to come. The Wells Fountain, really, I guess, the symbol of oppression, financial oppression here in this town.
Occupy Brattleboro.
That's right. All right, Joe, I'll turn it back over to you for...
All righty. Next, we've got the Vermont Agency of Transportation, VTrans, opened 2 key temporary bridges on Saturday in 2 locations that were badly damaged by Tropical Storm Irene. Temporary bridges located along Route 100 in Jamaica and also along Route 73 in Rochester were opened for through traffic. There
you go. And in addition, we'll just quickly... We don't have a lot of time on this show, but we'll quickly show you wyndhamregional.org/road status. This, of course, we've been hyping throughout the flood, and they've got a ton of information here on all the roadways. Of course, more and more roadways open these days, but as you can see, you can click on bridges, see what their status is, check on roads. Some of them is local traffic only. There's still a few roads closed, so a great resource there, wyndhamregional.org/road status, to keep abreast of what's going on with those. Now, before we move on here, Joe, we missed it. Friday has generally been our cute animal day, but we missed it, so we'll get into it here. We've got, this is courtesy of the Windham County Humane Society's Meet Our Dogs program. Let's take a look.
This is Felix, and he is a young male neutered Labrador Retriever. Hey guys. And he came to us from the Humane Society of the United States, and he was taken actually from a sad situation. It was a hoarding situation in northern Vermont. And the HSUS took wonderful care of him, and he's in really good health now, and he's super sweet and happy, and he's looking for a home.
Again, part of the Windham County Humane Society and their piece, Meet Our Dogs. Now, before you head out Route 30 down there to find out if the animal you're looking at here could join your family, just head to their website, WCHS4, for the number, pets.org, to make sure they're still available. Again, WCHS4pets.org, and see what's going on. And with that, Joe, it's time to hit our calendar.
Well, we've got the free PSA screening, partnered with a PSA blood test and a digital exam. To be eligible, individuals must be between 40 and 70 years old and must not have had a prostate screening or PSA blood test in the past 12 months. You can call 251-8243 to find out if any of the limited slots remain available. Tonight at 7 in Putney at the Putney Library, they host the latest Transition Putney discussion entitled Cultivating Spiritual Connection in Putney. For more on that prolific group's many events, visit transition.putney.net. Here's a look at last week's TP night in Putney, Transition Putney.
I began to think, well, what am I going to do now? I really would like to travel, I'd like to be able to do my artwork, and I'd like to make a living. And 7 years later, I moved to Vermont.
All right, and we'll just jump into some municipal meetings going on as well on our calendar tonight. Brattleboro Development Review Board starts at 7 p.m. That happens on the second floor of this here 230 Main Street Municipal Center. Select Board meeting room down there. You can check it out, and it'll show on Wednesday at 11 a.m. on BCTV Channel 10 when you want to check that out. And also, Brattleboro Select Board, their regularly scheduled meeting is tomorrow at 6:15 p.m., and it is live. As well. So the other thing you can do if you want to keep abreast of what's going on with the meetings is you can find agendas and also minutes for previous meetings, as well as contact info for various town officials and representatives, all at brattleboro.org. And that's not to be confused with brattleboro.tv.org, VCTV's website, where you can find the video for these meetings. All right, Joe, we've got precious little time left, so that's all we got for the calendar. But I'll mention, as I always mention, a wealth of events going on all the time here in Brattleboro. So you can go to ibrattleboro.com, which is what I do when I'm compiling this show, and they have accounts for individuals and organizations all around the community, so people update the events themselves, making it really the freshest information there. And we'll close out the calendar today with a clip of the last Select Board meeting, in case you missed it, in prep for tomorrow's Select Board meeting.
Part of the reason why we do it this way is because it creates an extra burden for staff if we do it the other way. So.
Oh, I'm not like a doodle poll, which are really effective. Doodle polls, they're great. I recommend them to everyone.
It's a doodle poll.
Everyone indicates their availability.
Clip of the Brattleboro Select Board meeting. Of course, you can find all those videos at brattleboro.tv.org. And with that, Joe, it's time for our BCTV Schedule Quick Glance. Nope, it's time for my awesome graphic of where you can email if you want to get an event listed. Rolling at brattleboro.tv.org. There's the Quick Glance animation in question. The Quick Glance is my daily opportunity to shamelessly plug what's coming up on BCTV on both our Comcast cable channels 8 and 10, and we'll start with this here, channel 8, where directly following this show, local videographer, producer, and former running mate of Joe Bushy's Carolyn Peck is debuting her piece, A History of Halloween.
Halloween, celebrated each year on October 31st, is a mix of ancient Celtic practices, Catholic and Roman religious rituals, and European folk traditions that blended together over time to create the holiday we know today.
All right, and we'll move the Quick Glance along. We'll be showing the montage that I compile for our annual meeting every year. 10 minutes packed with just about everything that's been produced here locally at BCTV. That shows at 6:20 p.m. tonight and tomorrow on BCTV at Channel 8. We have a 2:40 p.m. showing of Hannah Copin's October 1st art show. And also a 2 p.m. rebroadcast of Sunday's St. Michael's Mass. They show that directly following their service every Sunday, and then it shows again Tuesdays on Channel 8 at 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. And I'll just jump over to our Government and Education sister channel, Joe, quickly before we roll on out of here for a 6:30 p.m. Showing of the Vernon Select Board meeting, which happens live tonight. That's, again, 2 clicks up the dial there on Channel 10. You can see that live. Tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And at 2 p.m. we have a showing of last Wednesday's Brattleboro Planning Commission. And then we've got some back-to-back Select Board action with a 4:45 p.m. showing of the last Brattleboro Select Board meeting, followed by tomorrow's meeting going on live at 6:15 p.m. So catch up on the last Select Board meeting, watch the new one live, and more. All right, Joe, that's a full lid here of this.
If you missed any of that, BrattleboroTV.org.
There we go. Schedule's updated to the minute, and of course live streaming and video on demand for all local programming. It's all right there. That makes this a full lid. But before you switch over to the Kearsarge Chronicles, remember we'll be back Wednesday with a live remote webcast, BCTV schedule, quick glance, calendar coverage, headlines, and more. For BCTV, 545 Live, and Joe Bushy, I'm Roland Boyden. Good night, everybody.
That's right.